everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. I decided to do an update on Jamie so you can see his hair since I've applied the matte varnish to it. Now, I do have to say that I did not get the result that I thought I was going to get after I applied the varnish to his head. When I had done Madison's eyebrows, the first time I did them, I had used 3 different color Prismacolor pencils on her eyebrows. And when I applied the matte varnish, it blended the colors of the 3 pencils and it left the strokes. And it also lightened the eyebrows. So I assumed that that's what was going to happen to Jamie. But after I applied the varnish, that did not happen. And it's at that point where I realized the reason I didn't get that result was because Madison was painted with air-dry paints and Jamie was painted with Genesis heat set paints. So I'm going to show you the final result of Jamie's painting, or I should say the drawing of his hair after I applied the varnish. Now, when I had watched my previous video of him concerning his hair, I noticed that his hairline on the back of his neck was uneven, so I fixed that. And I didn't like the way the middle of his forehead, it was just up too far. His forehead was showing too much, so I went ahead and I adjusted that. So let me show you what Jamie looks like now. So let me put my big boy here, and here he is. Let me bring him up, and as you can see, I fixed his neckline, his hairline on his neck. So now he looks like he has a big boy haircut. And there was no difference before the varnish and after the varnish. It didn't do anything. It didn't lighten the hair. It didn't blend the colors. So this is the result. But I'm very happy with it. I really like the fact that you can see the highlights of the different color pencils that I used on his head. And now let me show you the front of him, my big boy. And there he is. And it was in this area I don't know how to explain it. I had the fringe going up too far where you saw more of the forehead. So I went ahead and adjusted those. So he looks so cute. He does look adorable. I absolutely love how this came out. However, the one thing that the varnish did to his head that I was not anticipating, it brought out the pinholes in his head from where he was rooted. So to look at him, you can see the pinholes all over his head. You can, you can clearly see them. Not major, you can't, you really have to get down to look at his head, but you can see them. And so that was very disappointing to me when I saw that the varnish had done that to his head. And there's nothing I can do. I had to put varnish on his head to keep the pencil from smearing, and but I did not anticipate that it was going to do that. And so I had 3 options that I could do with him. I could either put some more pencil coloring on his head and another layer of varnish and just hope that it covers up the pinholes, but then it would make the hair darker than what I wanted. So that option went out the window. And my second option was to completely remove all the hair and just put him back to being a bald-headed baby. But then I run the risk of little tiny brown spots all over his head because of the Prismacolor being embedded into the pinholes from the varnish. So I run the risk of having that happen, and I certainly did not want to remove all this beautiful work that I have done on his head. So that option went out the window. And the only other option that was left to me was to just completely leave his head alone. And so that's the option that I'm going with. His hair is beautiful. I think I did a wonderful job on his hair, considering it's my first time to doing hair. It was a lot of work, and you know, I mean, it's just one of those things. I still love him. He's still my Jamie. And the way I look at it, if I was to send his head to a reborn artist to have it painted, say there was no hair on him at all and he was still bald-headed, I would still want his hair to be this way. So by me doing it myself, I not only have I not only have his hair the way that I wanted it, but it didn't cost me anything. So, you know, that's the other part of doing this myself. And I know there's a lot of artists out there that do beautiful job with painting hair. But, you know, there's that issue where if you're getting something done by a reborn artist and your interpretation of how you perceive the product to look and how they perceive it to look is totally different. And so, you know, and that's not the artist's fault. That's not the reborn mommy's fault or the collector's fault. You know, it's just perceptions, you know, are totally different on both sides. And but yeah, so here's Jamie, and that's the final outcome. And he does look like a big boy. And I really wasn't intending for his hair to turn out like this, you know, with the fringe and the bangs. I really wasn't. I wasn't going for that look. But once I started doing the hair, and I got to here and I was doing the little curls, and I thought, you know what? This is what I want. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to come on and let you see the final touches of him and how it came about with the results of the matte varnish. So just a word of advice to you reborn mommies: if you have a reborn doll that you've removed the hair from and you want to use Prismacolor pencils and matte varnish, be careful, because you're going to end up seeing the pinholes. Yeah, so just a tip for you guys out there that do reborning. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And Jamie wants to say bye everyone. Everyone, take care. Bye for now.